having our own, as our numbers, call us, and not to go to the press. The press should, I know we are partners in progress, we are on the same page, but the press should be the last, not the first.
Still on insecurity, the high rate of insecurity in River State has also become a source of concern for medical personnel, including pharmacists, who are lamenting over constant attacks on their members by hoodlums. River State Branch Chairman of Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria, Agwoma Esomi Bay, who was speaking at the first committee orientation and sensitization and quality service delivery to patients, said a number of pharmacists have lost their lives following attacks by suspected hoodlums. Esomi Bay told our correspondent Alfred Alerici that the constant killings, robbery, and kidnapping in the state have greatly affected his members in giving proper pharmaceutical care to patients.
And then this issue of increased incidents in kidnapping and robbery and burglary. Most times you're sitting in your premises and people come, toting guns and pointing them at you. You know, we've lost colleagues. We've lost 2 colleagues to robbery that's gone wrong. They robbed and they killed them. So that's huge. Security is huge. To the government to do something and do it real fast. And then sometimes we give pharmaceutical care, what we call pharmaceutical care. It's not about giving someone drugs, giving medication. You need to educate the person on what to expect. If you need to roll your shutter down after 6 o'clock or 10 or 7 o'clock because you need to protect yourself and your staff, you don't get to do proper pharmaceutical care.
Investigation has shown that shop owners at the Rumokoro market in Obiakpo local government area of River State defy government regulations and resort to roadside trading. Our correspondent, Ifunanya Obeme Ndukwe, observed that traders rather flock the roadside with their goods, causing traffic and obstruction on major roads. Some of the traders who spoke with our correspondent said they cannot afford the cost of the shops in the market, which leaves them with no choice than to sell on the roadside.
The place is not in the center. As in, so far, Rumokoro is there and Slaughter is there, that customers will not come to this place very high. But now, the price is at least, man said 20,000 naira, and it's not 20,000 naira there.
To stay outside. Why? Because most people outside, when they want to rent the market, they put high price, 300,000. 200. When you enter market, say you want to rent the shop, my sister, you are in trouble because the money they will. So if government will give order to carry the rent of the shop down, everybody choose to enter market.
Like our governor can give to empower their task force to move them to here. That's when here we are. There are people that have shop here and they are in slaughter now selling. So that
the call is coming as the deadline issued by the government for an end to roadside trading draws near. The movement for the survival of Ogoni people has suggested the creation of a special Ogoni oil field from the controversial OML 11, which spans across several communities in the Niger Delta. President of Mosob, Lekbosi Parabara, who made the suggestion, said the move will enable federal government to deal directly with Ogoni people on the issues between them and the SPDC. Piagbara, who spoke in an interview with our correspondent Chinedu Iwuna, said it will be difficult for the federal government to, in an attempt to deal with the issues between Ogoni people and SPDC, make decisions that will affect other communities who do not have issues with the oil company.
Now, part of what we have proposed before is that in order to deal with this matter, can you create the Ogoni field into a block and maybe you break the OMA 11 into 2 or 3 blocks and make the Ogoni field a separate block so that you know you're dealing with the Ogoni whenever you're talking about this particular block. But now you cannot say you're talking about it because you cannot say you're dealing with the Ogoni, you're talking about OMA 11. OMA 11 is not equal to Ogoni. So we've said break it into 2 or 3 blocks and create the Ogoni block out of that whole block. It makes you to isolate the problem you want to deal with and focus on addressing that problem. So for me, the first step would have been to break the thing into 2, make this Ogoni block, and then you want to do the engagement with the Ogoni people because these are the people that have had problems with the state and share.
The Mosob president also dismissed recent reports claiming that unqualified companies were being awarded contracts for the cleanup of Ogoni land.
If a company was given lot A to clean, I think the issues that have been mobilized to site Are they doing the work according to standards? Today, IPREP has signed a contract with UNEP, which of course carry out the study. And they're in the best position to say this is what is right and this is what is wrong. Today, UNEP is on the ground to also validate whatever that is being done. And we don't think that UNEP will come here to compromise their reputation with anybody. If they were able to tell Shell in the time of the assessment that out of the 15 cleanup you claim to have done, 10 was not right, why would they not tell any other company? So I think it is still too early in the day to jump into some conclusions that we're jumping into. I think IPREP is taking all the steps necessary to ensure that the best of things are done on the ground.
The Action Democratic Party in River State has disclosed that its priority for approaching the Elections Tribunal is to correct the manner in which the elections are done in the state. The ADP says it is also their expectations to ensure that Rivers people experience good, transparent, and quality governance that they desire. Governorship candidate of the ADP, Victor Fingesi, said this in an interview with our correspondent, where he also disclosed that there is pressure on him and other parties to withdraw their petition from the tribunal.
In 2011, the same thing was said. There's no need to go to tribunal. I remember the likes of Dr. B. Sakibo stepped out of the tribunal, even when they've gone. Withdrew their cases. In 2015, same thing happened. Now again, same thing is happening, and you don't want people to go to tribunal. Every time, forget it, let the state continue. And every other election is getting worse. We need to solve the way we vote in River State. Elections must be conducted free and fair in River State. And that is the only way there can be fairness and equity. And that is the only way that you can guarantee less rancor in the system. And the truth is that my party, we are doing what we are doing because we want to help River State, because we think that without going to the tribunal, we are not doing good service to River State.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has announced the rescheduling of the governorship elections in Bayelsa and Kogi states. The elections, which were earlier fixed for November 16th, will now hold on the 30th of November. INEC, in a statement by its National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, said the timelines for all other activities leading to the elections have also been adjusted to align with the new date. Okoye added that the decision was taken after a careful consideration of the appeals during the Commission's regular weekly meeting. The Bayelsa State Governor, led by its Deputy Governor, Rear Admiral John Jonah, had led Bayelsa stakeholders in a courtesy visit to the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, demanding an adjustment in the date of the governorship election because the date clashed with its yearly Thanksgiving service, which had been backed by law. You're listening to the World News and Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, we'll be back with more news before the foreign scene. Please stay with us.
Day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today 95.1 FM.
Welcome back. It's 13 minutes after 7, and you're still listening to the World News here on Today 95.1 FM. The federal government has said it had recovered about 605 billion naira through the implementation of the whistleblower policy. Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed gave the figure during a media briefing on the activities of the ministry. The Finance Ministry described the whistleblower policy as a huge success. The whistleblower policy, which was inaugurated in December 2016, was aimed at addressing the issues of corruption in the management of government resources. Our correspondent reports that the event, which was held at the headquarters of the Ministry of Finance, was attended by other heads of agencies under the Ministry of Finance. The Senate has passed the Public Holiday Act Amendment Bill to recognize June 12th as the new Democracy Day. The bill was passed almost 1 year after President Muhammadu Buhari announced that the date will replace May 29th for Nigerians to commemorate the return to the civilian government. While some members of the National Assembly had criticized the president that Democracy Day cannot be changed by just a declaration, others commended his decision. President Buhari's declaration was later approved in the Senate by an act of parliament after the lawmakers considered the bill seeking to amend the Public Holiday Act on Thursday. The Nigerian Senate has confirmed Godwin Emefiele as governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria for a second term of 5 years. This followed the adoption of the report of the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions presented by Senator Rafiu Adebayo during plenary. This committee had cleared Emefiele after he was screened and asked questions relating to the nation's economy.
On behalf of the Senate, let me congratulate the governor of the Central Bank, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, on the renewal of his appointment. We wish him a useful 5 years and we'll use the opportunity to continue to provide support to ensure that the economy of our country continues to improve and address the most important area of ensuring the macroeconomic stability.
The Nigerian Governors Forum, NGF, has pledged commitment to the full implementation of the financial autonomy of state legislature and judiciary. Chairman of the Forum and Governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, said the implementation will ensure the highest level of transparency and openness in governance. Yari, who is represented by Bauchi State Governor Mohammed Abubakar, said governors will work with the federal government to achieve the implementation strategy for the autonomy. The Akwa Ibom State Governor, Udom Emmanuel, has sacked the Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Sufficiency, Udwak Udo Iyang. According to a statement by the Secretary to the State Government, Emmanuel Ekuwem, the governor's directive was with immediate effect. Governor Emmanuel further directed the Commissioner for Science and Technology, Professor Nse Essien, to immediately take over the duties and functions of Udo Iyang. The governor thanked the former commissioner for his service to the state and wished him good luck in his future endeavors. However, no reason was stated for the action of the governor. The statement also announced that Governor Emmanuel has approved the suspension of chairman of the state's Local Government Service Commission, Valentine Atta, over his alleged involvement in illegal recruitment into the service. Parents from the Ogba extraction in Ogba Egbema and Doni local government area of River State have been urged to teach their children and young ones the culture and tradition of Ogba land to avoid their culture going into extinction. A senior lecturer in the Department of Religious and Cultural Studies of the Ignatius Ajuri University of Education, Port Harcourt, Dr. Ogbodo Egbulam Oto, at an event in Port Harcourt, noted that there has been a disconnect in the cultural values between the older and younger generation of Ogba people.
Tremendous solution is that parents should take interest in relating to them the distinct features of Oba culture. Parents should talk to them, should teach their children Oba tradition. Parents should appreciate Oba culture so that their children too will in turn follow suit. Yes. The social crisis in Oba land today is the brainchild or the product of a long period of neglect of the social and cultural values of Oba people by our immediate past. The activities of the multinationals which attracted people from other parts of the country. These people came with their own alien culture. They brought this culture of grab by force.
Also speaking, the immediate past dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences at Ignatius Ajuri University of Education, Professor Kingdom Nwengi, said disability shouldn't be an excuse for failure.
Disability is not a barrier to achieve any height in our society. And therefore, calling upon the 3 tiers of government, the local government, the state government, and the federal government, to liberalize laws to university academics to enable them publish regularly to the good of the society.
And now to the foreign scene. An international crime gang which used malware to steal $100 million from more than 40,000 victims has been dismantled. A complex police operation conducted investigations in the US, Bulgaria, Germany, Georgia, Moldova, and Ukraine. The gang infected computers with Ghazni malware, which captured online banking details to access bank accounts. The gang was put together from criminals who advertised their skills online forums. The details of the operation were revealed at the headquarters of the European Police Agency, Europol, in The Hague. It said the investigation was unprecedented, especially in terms of cross-border cooperation. Airstrikes by a Saudi-led coalition has hit several targets in Yemen's rebel-held capital, Sana'a. The coalition fighting the Iran-allied Houthis in Yemen said it had unleashed a series of airstrikes against rebel military targets in Sana'a 2 days after the rebels claimed a drone attack against oil facilities in Saudi Arabia. A spokesman for the rebel-controlled health ministry, Yusuf Al-Hadiri, told DPA that no fewer than 41 civilians were also injured in the Saudi-led bombardment of a residential district in Sana'a. Yemen has been embroiled in a devastating conflict between the Saudi-backed government and the Houthis since late 2014. And in the entertainment scene, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has preferred 11 charges bordering on fraud against upcoming musician Aziz Fashola, aka Naira Marley, for alleged credit card fraud. The charges were filed before a Lagos State High Court. The alleged crimes were in contravention of the Money Laundering Prohibition Act and the Cyber Crimes Act, with Naira Marley risking 7 years in jail if found guilty. The travails of Naira Marley, who is popular for his Isagol, started following his decision to openly support online fraud, commonly called Yahoo Yahoo. And now to end the news, here is a summary of the major stories. The Rivers State government has decried the dumping of dead babies at receptacles in the city of Port Harcourt. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has rescheduled the governorship elections for Kogi and Bayelsa states. We told you that the Nigerian Governors Forum has pledged its commitment to the full implementation of autonomy for the judiciary and state legislature. And on the foreign scene, you heard that the Saudi Arabian-led coalition have attacked Yemeni rebels with airstrikes with over 40 civilian casualties. And that was the news as edited by Victor Ziama. For comments and inquiries, please call 08153418657 or send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. I am Annie Abdusalam. Thank you for listening. So have a good morning.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Radio has never been this good. Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
This is Today 95.1 FM. To copy this tune, press 9.
This is Today 95.1 FM.
For current news and information, press 5.
They are politicians, all of them. They know what they do.
So they know how they attack each other.
To stay connected all day, press 1.
The person who raised the name is the one who made the public know about.
Good afternoon and welcome to the World News on your Premium Talk Radio station.
We are your Premium Talk Radio station. Today 95.1 FM, the station with a unique dial.
Port Harcourt. Bud X Bars is here. 15 bars, 5 weeks with the kings of the turntables. DJ Consequence, DJ Nana, DJ E Cool, and DJ Crowd Controller. Experience epic parties every weekend from the 3rd of May. Follow at Budweiser Nigeria for updates. Be a king.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
It's 23 minutes after 7. You're listening to Today 95.1 FM. And I have Joy Hosful here with us. Joy, good morning.
Good morning, Ma.
All right, good. So you're here to tell us about Odibola Properties. Go ahead.
Yes, today I'm talking about promo. Well, before I speak about the promo, I'll just tell you a little bit of why you should come forward right now, this period that we're doing promos for real estate investment. Because for a period of time now, Odibola Properties have made sure we keep up to achieve our vision to make sure about 1 million persons invest in real estate from us without having any issues in future. And because we've also seen that so many persons have had a lot of problems, some were tragic in investing in real estate. Mm-hmm. So we have come in to solve these issues, meaning making it so easy for those out there, even those of the low-income earners, the high-income earners, those abroad, to invest in real estate here in Port Harcourt without having the problem or the fear of it being taken away or having any encumbrances. So, well, right now we are running our pay small promo because we know that there are some persons too that have the problem paying the huge bulk for one plot of land. So we we have this property that is very unique. It's located out of Magua, which is called the Sky View Layout. Now, this property has about 3 different access to the property, meaning you can get through it from the airport road leading to Owerri, or there's another road from Alo or that of Choba. So when you get this property, you know that with a period of time, having this much access road and structures around it, it is going to add value as quick as possible. It's something that when you buy now, even if you're not building at the moment, you can keep it for selling later in future. And when you sell, obviously you won't get it at the same value you bought it. You will sell it at a higher value. That is the best thing about real estate. And Skyview Layout, we have already planned and mapped it out already. It's an approved layout by Greater Port Harcourt. And this property, it has the residential areas, the areas for corner shops, and we are giving it a parameter fencing, meaning the property of about 500 plots is secured by Odibola Properties. So you don't have any issue with the community or with encumbrances or any problem, or even the government, because we are there for you. Now, this Pay Small promo, we are giving those out there the opportunity to buy this property at a lower price. It's a property worth 1 million naira, but we are giving a discount of 100,000 for those buying outright. Then those that want to do an installment package, which is what we are really up for now, and it's once in a year we do this, though it's not like it's every year you're going to see this opportunity come forth, because this property now has just 60 plots left. Now, this 60 plot is for 60 persons. So this Saturday, we're already taking people there for inspection. So if you come now and make your inquiries, we'll take you down. The installment package is going for 950,000 for about 4 years. So you make a down payment of 350,000. After making that down payment, you spread the remaining 600,000 for as long as 4 years, meaning you can decide to make it 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. So this is a beautiful opportunity to relax your mind and invest in real estate. You that is out there, you're a student, you're a market woman, you're a carpenter, whoever you are, being it a low-income earner that you've found it difficult, now we are making it easier for you. Just come forth to our office, make your inquiries, and start this payment and start your investment, because this is something that will make wealth for you. It is not riches. They say wealth goes from generation to generation, and when it's landed properties, you can pass it on to whoever. It never depreciates. So now we are encouraging you, just come to our office, which is at Inyewele Sirim Layout, Tombia Extension, GRA Phase 3. I'll go again with that address. Our office is at Tombia Extension, Inyewele Sirim Layout, GRA Phase 3. And you can also contact me on 070 123 64510. I go again with that number. You can text I am interested to 070 123 64510, or you call the office number on 070 628 24485. I go again with the number 070 628 24485. Please, we'll be willing to take you down. Now, tomorrow by 10 a.m., we are taking all our prospective clients to see this property. So we are not just giving you stories. You'll come along with us. We'll transport you down to the site. You'll see it for yourself that it's not a waterlogged area. It's a buy and build property. It's a very beautiful place. So when you come, we'll take you down. You make your inquiries, fill your interest form, and we start our transaction at once.
All right, then just call your number one more time.
070 123 64510.
All right, then thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you, ma.
All right.
And this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Port Harcourt. Bud X Bars is here. 15 bars, 5 weeks with the kings of the turntables. DJ Consequence, DJ Nana, DJ E Cool, and DJ Crowd Controller. Experience epic parties every weekend from the 3rd of May. Follow at Budweiser Nigeria for updates. Be a king.
What a goal! Hangs it up for Ronaldo. Oh, my God! Experience the glorious goals rush. The heated verbal jabs and even moments of madness. Experience the sensational swings, strokes and shots, the moments of victory and despair. Experience lights out on a majestic night in Singapore and a whole lot more.
On your premium talk news and sports radio station.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Listen to Sports Attack every weekday from 7:30 a.m. and Today Sports Live after the news update at 3 p.m. Stay tuned on Saturdays and Sundays for a bumper edition of Today Sports Live from 1 to 6 p.m. Experience sports in its entirety on your premium talk news and sports radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
To God be the glory. Thank God it's Friday. The weekend is here and rest is near. Very good morning and welcome to Sports Attack, reaching you live from the stables of 95.1 FM right there in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. My name is Emmanuel Chibuzo. It's Friday, the 17th day of the month of May 2019. So wherever I go, call your friends, call your enemies. It's the best sports show in the land, the best sports program on radio.
Hi everyone, my name is Ese Brume, Commonwealth and African long jump champion. You're listening to Sports Attack on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Don't touch that dial.
And of course, let's start from volleyball this morning, where the Nigerian Volleyball Federation says the nation's contingent to the African Games zonal qualifiers in Abidjan is a brand new national team for the competition. The technical director of the NVBF, Mr. Martins Melandi, made the assertion as the contingent departed Abidjan yesterday from Kaduna, where the team currently said, we have a new senior volleyball team for men. The expectation is to go and pick up the only ticket we have in Zone 3. He said, the technical director said, Nigeria had never failed to secure the ticket, and this time would not be an exception. Over now to tennis, where Roger Federer marked his Italian Open return with victory against Portugal's João Sousa, as 8-time champion Rafael Nadal also progressed in Rome, making his first appearance since 2016. The 37-year-old Swiss 4-time finalist Federer beat Sousa 6-4, 6-3 in 1 hour 21 minutes to reach the third round. Federer, however, claims he isn't in Rome to win it, and he isn't affected by not winning every trophy possible.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, no, it doesn't affect me at all. I mean, of course, I'd be lying if I told you like I didn't care at all. Of course, I would have loved to win this tournament, especially that epic match and finals with Rafa years ago. But I'm not here trying to win it. Otherwise, I should have also played Monaco, because I also haven't won Monaco, and then I should have played another probably 20 events that I haven't been able to win in my life, you know. So I'm not here to chase all these records and having to win every tournament possible. But you know, if I can have a deep run here this week, that would already make me very happy.
And of course, still in tennis, Spain's defending champion Rafael Nadal took 1 hour 8 minutes to beat Francis Jeremy Chardy 6-love, 6-1. The 32-year-old spoke about how great it feels playing in Rome.
It's always a great feeling, so you know. Here I played the two first finals that I played here is one of these matches that I will not forget. No, against Korea in 2005 and against Roger in 2006. No, these two matches have been unforgettable for me, and always be back here is a special feelings. This tournament is part of the history of our sport, and I enjoyed a lot of great moments in this place.
Nadal also spoke about not winning every match as part of the game.
As part of the game, you know, there is only one winner every week. You have to know that before you start every season and before you start every tournament. So we are here like I don't know how many players start the tournament, and there is only one gonna win. So that's difficult, and all the things that I did in the past in these events have been very difficult, and it's good to people that know that.
However, Nick Kyrgios was embroiled in fresh controversy after he was disqualified from his match against Casper Ruud after throwing his chair onto the court at the Italian Open. The Australian had fought back to level the match against Ruud at 1-all and was break up in the third set. But down break point, Kyrgios, who framed a forehand wide to hand back the break to Ruud. Kyrgios then turned his eye at the crowd before slamming his racket to the floor. He then kicked a water bottle and picked up a nearby stool and threw it across the court. Kyrgios had received multiple code violations earlier in the match, and the umpire handed him a game penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. He then packed his bag and walked off the court, leading to him being defaulted from the match. And now to boxing we go this morning. Red Deontay Wilder directed a brutal tirade at Dominic Breazeale as the heavyweight rivals came face-to-face at their final press conference. A fired-up Wilder again warned his opponent with heated threats despite being ordered to face a WBC hearing for recent unsavory comments as the pair addressed the media at Thursday's final press conference. The animosity between the American duo became even more evident as they engaged in an icy stare-down ahead of Sunday morning's heavyweight world title clash at the Barclays Center. According to the quote, it says, "I'm not in this business to make friends." Wilder, making the 9th defense of his WBC crown, said, "There's so many things that I have said and I mean every word. I didn't bother anybody. The chaos came to me. Disturbing the peace came to me. He asked for this and he shall receive." And now to golf we go this morning, where Brooks Koepka produced a stunning start to his PGA Championship title defense to open up a one-stroke advantage after his record-breaking opening round. Koepka broke the course record at Bethpage Black after firing 7 birdies on his way to a bogey-free 63 on Thursday morning, equaling the lowest round in the tournament's history and becoming the first player ever to shoot multiple threes in the same major. The defending champion's closest challenge comes from New Zealand's Danny Lee, who birdied his last 2 holes to close a 6-under-64 and registered the lowest round of the afternoon starters, with Tommy Fleetwood a further 3 strokes back in third. Starting on the back nine alongside Tiger Woods and Francesco Molinari, Koepka holed a 40-footer at a par 4 10th and followed a missed chance from 8 feet at the next by joining a 20-footer at the 14th and picking up a shot in the 18th. Over now to the world of the NBA, where Steph Curry scored 37 points as the Golden State Warriors rallied from a 15-point halftime deficit before holding off the Portland Trail Blazers for a 114-111 win Thursday night in the early hours of this morning, and a 2-0 lead in the Western Conference Finals. CJ McCollum missed a driving jumper with 32 seconds left, and Draymond Green scored on the other end of the Warriors, giving Portland one final chance with 12.3 seconds to go. Andre Iguodala then blocked a 3-point attempt by Damian Lillard on the left wing. Seth Curry, Steph's younger brother, put Portland ahead on a 3-pointer with 1.03 seconds left before Kevin Looney's dunk on the other end put Golden State back on top, 112 to 111. Steph Curry posted his third straight 30-point performance, while Splash brother Klay Thompson needed a half to heat up, scoring 13 of 24 points in the Warriors' 39-point third quarter, reminiscent of those old third quarter outballs that have long defined this group. Game 3 in the best-of-7 series takes place in the early hours of Sunday morning at Portland's Moda Center. However, Golden State Warriors star Kevin Durant is not yet ready to resume on-court work and will be evaluated in a week. The team announced that yesterday, shortly before Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals against the Portland Trail Blazers. That timeline would put Durant, who is recovering from a right calf strain, out through at least Game 5, which is set, if necessary, for Wednesday in Oakland. Game 6 is tentatively scheduled for Friday, May 24th in Portland. The Warriors rallied to win Game 2, 114 to 111, to take a 2-0 series lead. The team's upgrade and update said Durant has shown good progress, and head coach Steve Kerr told reporters after the game on Thursday night that the injury is more significant than the first suspected. This is a wrap on other sports. Football is next on the menu this morning.
For the best and most incisive sporting reports, tune in to Sports Attack on Today 95.1 FM every week morning at 7:30 a.m. My name is Daniel Igale, President of the Nigeria Wrestling Federation. I also listen to the show.
Welcome back. Let's start from Nigerian Professional Football League this morning, where OC Martins failed to convert a penalty as Rivers United forced Lobby Stars to a 1-0 draw at the Yakubu Gowon Stadium yesterday in the March 20 fixture in the Nigerian Professional Football League. Kunle Odulami diverted Sikiro Alemi's shot into his own net to give Lobby Stars the advantage on 27 minutes before substitute Adebambo Ademola made an instant impact to draw Rivers United level in the 61st minute. However, in additional time, Rivers United thought they had won the match, but central referee ruled that the ball did not cross the line before it was cleared by a Lobby player. The decision did not go down well with angry Rivers United fans who attacked the match officials, raining slaps on them after the match. Kelly Kester is a Lobby Stars midfielder and he advised Rivers United fans to always display a good spirit of sportsmanship.
The fans, I think the club should try and educate the fans that it is not a compulsory win at home by all means. I think that's what's really in our league now. Everybody wants to win at home. Lobby Stars will join a couple of games, if not 3 games at home this season. There are no incidents like this. So I think they should educate the fans more on how to do it. We see that big teams, even the biggest teams in the world, the Roma, the Manchester United, they lose at home. So even if your team loses at home, they can go away and win also. So I don't think there should be any cost around. I think the incident that happened that Saturday.
Lobby and Rivers United remain in 2nd and 5th places respectively after the draw. Elsewhere this morning, Eimba coach Usman Abdallah has told the busybodies.ng that building a team of the future, delivering continental football and winning a trophy at the end of the season are his top priorities at the 2-time CAF Champions League winners. Eimba, winners of the Nigerian League a record 7 times, are currently fighting for a place in the title-deciding NPFL Super 6 playoffs this season.
We're building a team of the future and you can see the team is blended. So we are hoping to get the continental ticket, and hopefully with this team that we're building is the team that we want to continue the continental with, so that we don't need to change the team again at the end of the season. This is the mistake that we've been doing at the past. So this year we're changing that. So those are the goals, to get the continental ticket, to prepare this team for 2020. At the same time, maybe look at a trophy, because it's been long now Eimba got the trophy. So we have like 3 goals to achieve, and I think we are still chasing all, and there is possibility we can achieve our aim.
Last year, the soft-spoken tactician guided Eimba to the semi-finals of the CAF Confederation Cup, where they lost to eventual champions Raja Casablanca of Morocco. And of course, the results of matches played yesterday in Group A, we see Katsina United defeated Sunshine Stars by 3-1, while Remo Stars played out a goalless draw with Eimba in Shagamu. Rivers United right in Port Harcourt played out a 1-0 draw with Lobby Stars, as Wiki Terrorists defeated Kwara United by 2-1 in Group B. Goran FC played out a 1-0 draw with Plateau United, as FC Fanyuba lost at home to Enugu, to Heartland of Owerri 2-1. That game was played in Umudim, and of course Nyoso Konko got a goal right there for the Owerri Landlords. And of course, not forgetting Nasarawa United in Lafayette defeated Gombe United by 2-1, while Ubedeza Stars lost at home to Kano Pillars by 1-0. Delta Force and Akwa United's game also took place yesterday in Aba, while Gombe United will do battle with Heartland. Not forgetting Kano Pillars up against the Delta Force at the Sanda Abacha Stadium, as Kwara United will do battle with Remo Stars. Lobby Stars in Makurdi up against Wiki Terrorists, as MFM FC in Lagos will play host to Katsina United, while Nasarawa United will be the guest who entertain Goran FC right there in Lafia, as Plateau United will play host to Yobe Desert Stars. Still talking NPFL this morning, where Ferdinand Udo has said that Nigerian referees will soon officiate matches at the African Cup of Nations after the Confederation of African Football did not select any central referee from the country for the 2019 tournament in Egypt. Udo, the only Nigerian CAF Elite A referee at the moment, missed out of the 2019 AFCON due to injury, but said that in the coming years, wonderful and young referees from the country will graduate to the top class where they can be considered for the AFCON.
It takes a period of time for referees to grow, just like educational system in Nigeria. Now, it will take a period of time to leave primary school, secondary school, and then you get to university. And from the university, you can begin to apply for jobs. So we still have referees who are going through primary and secondary school. I was lucky to have grown so fast because at the time they needed referees from Nigeria, there was no one. I was sick and I was just moving fastly. And now we have younger referees who are at the secondary level right now. and in a couple of years, they will leave the secondary level to the tertiary level before they can be considered for the Nations Cup. We have wonderful young referees. It's not due to the lack of quality. It's a period of time. They have to be groomed over a period of time.
And of course, one of such referees is 37-year-old Adebimpe Quadri, the youngest ever Nigerian FIFA badge official, who coincidentally took the record from Ferdinand Udo. To the camp of Nigeria Super Falcons we go this morning. As Super Falcons zoomed into the final of the Women's Waffle Cup of Nations following a 4-2 penalty shootout win over perennial rivals Ghana in the semi-final clash in Abidjan yesterday. Thomas Zenebi's ladies dominated possession in the game but were let down by their poor finishing. The game went into penalty shootout after both teams failed to find the back of the net in regulation time. The Super Falcons converted all their 4 kicks while the Black Queens have scored only 2. They will take on host Cote d'Ivoire in the final of the competition on Saturday. Meanwhile, Super Falcons forward Desire Okoranoze, who plies her trade for the Division 1 Feminine of Guingamp in France, has commended the Football Federation for the preparatory games organized for the female national team. The 35-year-old, who has 35 caps for the national team, believes the Falcons would not disappoint the country.
Well, we're all excited. We feel really good. I mean, it's the first of its kind. We've never had to prepare for the World Cup this good. I mean, and it's kudos to this current administration. Kudos to the NFF. They've done a really good job putting all of this together and all that. So I really commend them.
Speaking about the current crop of players in the squad, Okoranoze believes the country is blessed with lots of talent.
Well, that's why we want test games like this. We want camps like this in order to see other players, you know. When we have this trial games, it allows the coach to see some other players, because I mean Nigeria we have talents scattered all around the world and all that, so it will allow the coach to have a lot of options to see, you know, to see what the players can do when they bring them in and all that, to have so many options to choose from. That's why there are preparatory games and all that.
To the Super Eagles camp we go this morning, where Super Eagles media officer Tony Ibitoye has opened up on the provisional selection made by Coach General for the upcoming African Cup of Nations set to hold in Egypt this summer. The sports journalist believes that the names on the list are capable of getting the job done. He, however, stated that having a perfect list was impossible.
I think it's a very good list. I think it's a list of the best players that we have at the moment. And I think it offers us a very good mix of youth and experience. So I'm optimistic that it is a list of players who can deliver for us in Egypt. There's no perfect list in the world. All of us cannot agree on everything, but I think on the average, this is a strong squad capable of going to the AFCON to do Nigeria proud.
Ibitoye also justified the inclusion of the 31-year-old midfielder John Obi Mikel to the squad.
Yeah, it's maybe because he wasn't around for some time. That's why they feel that he wasn't going to be back in the team. But he had some issues with injuries and loss of form. And in the last couple of months, he has returned to his best, playing regularly for 90 minutes, completely recovered from his injury, and in excellent shape. So it was just a matter of time for him to get back. And I think for his quality, for his experience, definitely we will benefit from it in a tournament like the Nations Cup. So we are happy to have him back, and we hope and pray that he stays in good shape like he is presently, no loss of form, so that he can lead this team to do the nation proud in Egypt.
When asked who would eventually captain the side at the tournament, Ibitoye had this to say.
We have a captain already, so there's no need for us to pick a new captain. We have a captain already, and he's back into the team. And he's supported, of course, by the assistant captain, standing captain Ahmed Musa. And there's no problem at all about the captain. There's nobody under any pressure. The team is a very good team. It's a very disciplined team. It's a young team, energetic, and they will go onto the pitch and do the business for us. We'll focus on what we can do on the pitch and how we can make Nigerians happy in Egypt.
Meanwhile, head coach of the national team, Gennaro Roy, insists that the team's focus remains to get to the semi-finals come the AFCON.
To go to the last four, to play good football, to improve. Since the World Cup, we did so well against Iceland. It was a wonderful game. We missed a little bit chance, and the penalty, unfortunately, has not been given against Argentina. And so I only hope that we continue to improve. And the young players normally will improve if they work well, if they play in the clubs. It's very important what they're doing in the clubs. We will have them 3 weeks before the AFCON, and after a long season for everybody, we have to check with a good preparation and to be very, very fit to start the first games.
And of course, we're talking Nigerian football this morning. We have former Green Eagles captain and Nigerian legend Christian Chukwu, the one they call off the call chairman, in company with his wife Lilian Nkiruka, has arrived at the United Kingdom for medical treatment. Chukwu, who captained the senior national team to win the AFCON competitions for the first time in 1980, traveled with his wife aboard a Virgin Atlantic airline flight from London. The president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Amaju Mervin Pinnick, has arranged an appointment for the Nigerian legend with a renowned cardiologist in London. Speaking before the takeoff of his flight, the sports veteran had a lot of thanks to give.
I have to give thanks to Today. I have to give thanks to the Federation. I have to give thanks to my state government. They are the people that made it possible. And I have to thank the whole country for their prayers and support.
Yes, Chairman Christian Chukwu, who arrived in London yesterday for medical checkup right there. Over now to England we go this morning, where Chelsea midfielder Ruben Loftus-Cheek will miss the Europa League final with an ankle injury suffered in a charity friendly in the United States of America. The 23-year-old went down clutching his left ankle in the first half of Chelsea's 3-0 win over New England Revolution at Gillette Stadium. England manager Gareth Southgate confirmed yesterday Loftus-Cheek would miss the game when Chelsea play Arsenal in the final in Baku on Wednesday, 29th of May. Southgate reviewed the news on Loftus-Cheek's injury as he unveiled his England squad for next month's Nations League finals. And of course, tomorrow we'll see the final of the English FA Cup right at the new Wembley Stadium between Manchester City and Watford. For Pep Guardiola, he will be seeking to get the treble right there in English. So he has won earlier the Carabao Cup and also clinched the English Premier League title last weekend. And of course, hoping to get the treble right there on domestic cups when Man City play Watford this weekend. Over now to Manchester, where Man United Chief Executive Officer, Vice Chairman Ed Woodward has pledged to use the club's financial muscle to help Ole Gunnar Solskjaer rebuild following a turbulent season. Following the release of United's third quarter financial results, Woodward said the underlying strength of our business will allow us to support the manager and his team as we look to the future. United missed out on Champions League qualification following a dismal campaign that led to them finishing 6th in the Premier League and 32 points behind champions Manchester City. However, the club continues to perform well financially, with third quarter revenues up by 3.4% to £152.1 million, with a 94% rise in operating profit to £14.2 million. United's debt has remained fairly static at £301.7 million, a rise of £0.4 million over the year. Woodward said after a turbulent season, everyone at Man United is focused on building towards the success that this great club expects, and our fans deserve it. And lastly, this morning, Luka Jovic has completed a £52.4 million move to Real Madrid from Eintracht Frankfurt, according to Sky sources. The 21-year-old Serbian international striker has signed a 5-year contract with the Spanish Giants, which will earn him £43.7 million in total, or £8.7 million a year. Frankfurt will pay Jovic's former club Benfica around £10.5 million of the transfer. Is a wrap on the show this morning. Many thanks for your listening pleasure. Many thanks to Samuel Omainiku and Victor Oria, who put this package together. Join the Sport Gang after the news of the day by 3 p.m. for today's Sport Live. If not for anything, at least for your heart, do some sport, and please don't let the weekend you. And remains yours sincerely in sport. Emmanuel Tibuzo, signing out.
Radio has It's never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
When I become rich and famous, all these faces will know who I am, 'cause I'll